Hey Nicholas, it's Trent White from Graves Golf. Looking at the videos that you sent into the Gold program, want to check in on your progress from that last lesson where Richard was working on your address position and then also working on getting some rotation in that first move of the backswing. So address is starting to get closer. Still have a couple small adjustments to make here, and one of those is going to be the hand position. So your arms and hands and everything are kind of pressed a little bit too far forward, and the club head's starting a little too close to the golf ball as well. So if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, what we want to achieve is what Mo called the rod position of the lead arm and club shaft. So that's this alignment right here where that club shaft lines up with that lead arm at address. And in order to achieve that, the club head needs to be placed kind of directly underneath or in front of your nose there at address. And then you get that lead arm fully extended and it'll line up nicely. When it gets too close to the golf ball, this club head like you see here, so it's well ahead of your nose there at address, and the hands are then pressed forward, you end up getting this club shaft that would kind of go out in front of your body, and then obviously your lead arm going back up this direction. So we're not getting that rod alignment that you're seeing here on the right-hand side of the screen. So club head, place it directly in front of your nose. There'll be a little gap between the club head and the golf ball like you see here on the right-hand side of the screen. It's not right up against the ball. There's a gap between there. And then that club shaft just lines up with that lead arm from face on. The other adjustment I would make is, and you're not too far off here, but I would narrow this trail foot just a little bit. It's getting to where it has a little bit too much angle in that trail leg, and that can really allow you to, if that leg locks out in the backswing, it can allow your torso to over-rotate, and that's what we're seeing in the swing motion. I'll show you that here in a second. Great job with the adjustments of what Richard had you working on with rotation in the hips, though. So you can see here now we're not starting that takeaway move with just our arms. You can see the hips rotating in that backswing movement right here to position one. What we need to work on from there is not allowing then our upper body to get over-rotated in this second move. So I'm going to take you into the backswing. And you'll notice how at the top of your swing here, the trail shoulder starts to show up on this side of your head, the right-hand side of your head from this face-on view. So you're at 90, if not past a little bit past 90 degrees of rotation with your torso when that starts to show up. Watch over here on the right-hand side of the screen. He's going to make some rotation. You can see his hips turning there. And then once he gets to position one, about right in here, 2/3 of the body rotation is already done up to that point. The rest of that movement is mainly him folding his trail arm and allowing the hands to hinge. So you can see how his trail shoulder is still slightly on this side of his body. And so he's only roughly at 75 to 80 degrees of rotation with his upper body, where you're turned a lot more than him at this top of the backswing. And I'll show you that also here from down the line, how you can see that is as you go back, everything's coming to the inside in that first move, but then we get a lot of rotation out of the torso here, and that gets everything behind your body. You can see how your hands and this arm are starting to get behind your backside, where if you look at this down the line view, here's one of Mo, you're going to see that his arms and hands, they come to the inside, and then right about here, he starts to just fold up vertically. He doesn't continue. There's a little bit of rotation occurring, but the majority of the rotation is done at this point, and now he's going to fold that trail arm and leverage the club up, and you see his hands are more or less beside his body, not as much behind his body, and that's from over rotation. So I'm going to send you a good video that works on that. Not letting the upper body get over rotated in the backswing. Spend some time making those adjustments there. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to seeing more from you soon after you've had a chance to work on these adjustments.